Girlfriends Sophie and Bea are in a new relationship. They are headed to David's family mansion to wait out the predicted hurricane. David is Sophie's childhood friend. He and some other friends will also be there. Bea is a bit hesitant, but Sophie reassures her that they aren't as destructive and strange as they seem online. But still, Bea is nervous about meeting Sophie's friends. They arrive at the mansion. Sophie goes in and Bea tells her she forgot something in the car. She checks herself in the mirror, but forgets to close it, leaving the light on. Sophie finds her friends enjoying the pool. Alice is very happy to see her, while Emma wonders what she's doing here. Emma and David are in a relationship. Sophie introduces Bea to everyone. Jordan is annoyed that Sophie showed up without them knowing. Sophie tells them she had texted that she was coming, but no one received her text. Alice takes out champagne and David is annoyed, because it's his dad's stuff they shouldn't touch. Greg, Alice's boyfriend, uses a sword to open the champagne. They have champagne just as the rain starts. David wants to talk to Sophie in private. Bea wanders around the house, with Jordan warning her to be careful with Sophie. Sophie went to rehab and this is the first time in a long time he's seeing her. They catch up. It's nighttime and they all get to partying. Sophie stops the music, suggesting that they play a game called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. The rule is that if you draw the paper with the X on, then you are the murderer. You kill someone by touching them on the back. If you come across someone who is fake killed, you have to yell, Bodies, 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 and everyone needs to figure out who did it. They start playing in the dark. Someone yells Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. The victim is Greg. They try to guess who the killer is in the game. They guess it's Emma. David insults Emma and she starts crying. The other friends don't like how he's treating his girlfriend and vote that he is the killer. He gets angry and quits the game. The girls play a slapping game when the lights go out due to the storm. They think that David is messing with them. The others look for the generator, while Bea looks for the bathroom. Suddenly, she sees David outside and he is bleeding. She calls for help. The girls try to help him, but there's no service to call 911. They get to the car, but the car won't start. Bea says she might have left the light on in the car. Back inside, they wonder what David was doing outside. Jordan finds the sword. She wonders where Greg is and starts suspecting him of killing David. Jordan starts questioning Alice about how well she knows Greg. Alice gets defensive. Alice calls for Greg, but there's no answer. The girls carefully walk through the house. They find a bag with suspicious items that belongs to Greg. Alice says he wanted to be prepared for the hurricane. They all still look for Greg. They find him laying down in the gym with a mask on. They think he's weird, but Alice explains that he takes care of himself like this. They startle him. He says he couldn't sleep so he did his exercise. Their behavior confuses him and he starts acting weird, scaring all of them. He is confused about what's going on. They tell him that someone killed David. He thinks they're playing a prank on him. The girls are armed with knives. He gets angry, telling everyone to put their knives down. Alice starts crying, not knowing this behavior. The girls come at him and he defends himself. But then Bea hits him with a kettlebell. He is dead and Alice cries. Alice knows he didn't kill David. But Jordan replies that he is the most likely to hurt someone, because he served in the military. Alice doesn't know what she's talking about. Jordan reminds her that she said he's a vet. Alice says that he is a veterinarian, as in treating animals. But Jordan defends herself by reminding Alice that he's the most unknown to the friend group. Bea feels bad for what she did. They leave the gym. Sophie and Emma get into a small fight. Sophie and the other friends agree that Emma didn't love David and didn't even like him. She just loved the idea of him. Emma tells Sophie that she and David were relieved when she disappeared. They all wonder where Bea is. Meanwhile, Bea has changed her clothes and washes all the blood off. Sophie apologizes to Emma. Alice looks for Bea. She runs and trips over something. Then she realizes that she had fallen over Emma. She screams when she sees that she is dead. She calls for Jordan. Alice thinks she got pushed down the stairs. They try to figure out who the killer is and Alice thinks that someone is playing a sick joke on them. Alice questions Sophie about how long she has known Bea. Jordan and Alice start suspecting her. Alice reminds her that she killed her boyfriend. They kick her out, into the storm. Bea goes to the car and finds a few useful items. Bea returns to the house. Through the window, she sees that Jordan has a gun. Bea finds a doggy door and manages to get through it. She finds a hammer and takes it with her. She reunites with the three friends and they are shocked, asking how she got in. She warns Sophie to get away from Jordan, because she has a gun in her pocket. Bea orders Jordan to empty her pockets. There's no gun, but there's the small piece of paper with the X on. Now they start suspecting her of killing David. She defends herself by saying that he was her best friend. Then the blame is shifted to Bea again, as they accuse her of lying to Sophie. She had not told Sophie that she didn't graduate from Utah University. She explains that she had to drop out and take care of her mother, as she is bipolar. She hadn't told Sophie everything, because she wanted her to like her. Sophie hugs her. Jordan gets upset and gets the gun. More secrets and lies come out. Sophie tells Alice that Jordan doesn't like her podcast and how annoyed she is with her. Alice realizes that this is true. Then she tells Jordan everything that's wrong with her and insults her wealth and her previous relationship with Sophie. This upsets Jordan and she shoots Alice in the leg. They try to take the gun away from Jordan. In the struggle, Alice is accidentally shot. Jordan points the gun at Sophie. Bea tries to grab it and shots go off. Jordan tries to suffocate Bea, but she manages to throw Jordan over the railing. Jordan had fallen onto the glass table. She reminds Bea to check Jordan's texts as she fires shots at them. Now only Sophie and Bea are left. Bea asks Sophie if she cheated on her with Jordan. Sophie says she would never, because she loves her. Sophie wants to touch Bea, but she gets frightened and runs away. Bea tries to hide from Sophie. Soon it's morning and Bea sees the damage done from the previous night. She walks outside and sees the hurricane's destruction. She is frightened when Sophie suddenly hugs her. Bea points the gun at Sophie, demanding to see her phone. She hesitates at first, then throws it in the mud. They both struggle for the phone and fall into the pool. They realize it's not Sophie's phone. It's David's phone. Bea uses his face to unlock it. They see a TikTok that he made the previous night. He tried the trick of opening the champagne bottle with a sword. But he struggled and hit himself in the neck. All along he had accidentally killed himself.